This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt stuck, whether it's a major life transition, a dark night of the soul, or just staying small out of fear. If you've ever struggled to move forward, if you're repeating unhealthy patterns in relationships, or you have a black belt in beating yourself up, you were meant for more, and this podcast is for you. We'll get real, we'll get vulnerable, we'll probably cuss a little bit, and we'll get to the root of it all, your self-worth. With every step, you'll find the courage to rise. Welcome to episode 20 of the Courage to Rise podcast. Today I want to talk about uncertainty and how we navigate uncertainty, because this is a time across the world and in our lives that we're all dealing with a massive amount of uncertainty. The things which we took for granted or thought to be certain yesterday, metaphorically speaking yesterday, are no longer as certain as they seemed. There's massive uncertainty right now around the economy, around jobs. There's massive uncertainty around health and survival, not only of ourselves as individuals, but of the people we love, the people we care about on a global scale, and in our immediate cities and families and friends. And there's a lot of uncertainty. And in times of great uncertainty, these are times where the human spirit is called upon more than ever to rise. And courage to rise goes into all elements of our life. And that includes times of global uncertainty, dealing with pandemics and economic impacts. And how do you resource yourself during a time of massive uncertainty, where even our fundamental survival and our fundamental health is being called into question, because there are a lot of unknowns right now. And there are several ways that we as individuals can respond to this. And what you as an individual can do right now to do your part is to resource yourself as best you possibly can under the circumstances, so that we do not feed into a collective fear and panic, because it's very easy to do. And regardless of your feelings about media or anything else, there is a very real phenomenon when you are constantly on the news, you're constantly on social media, you're constantly taking in from all different directions all these things about articles or posts or opinions. When we are in that place, we become very easily overloaded and our resources go down. And suddenly we're just taking things in, and our limbic brain, our survival brain, our fear overtakes us. And that's how people get activated into panic. That's how people buy thousands and thousands of rolls of toilet paper. And what we can do during this time is come back to our breath. I say this all the time, but more than ever, this is the time we need to come back to center, and we need to have the resources to do that. We need to be aware more than ever of what's going on in our body, where we're feeling tension, where we're feeling anxiety, and check into that. Because if we don't check into it, we end up in this heightened state of anxiety and fear, and it's a disempowering state. And from that place, we are not making good sound choices for ourselves. We are not helping ourselves or those around us or those in our family during these times. And I am not saying, and you guys know this, I am the first to say we never want to bypass reality, and we never want to diminish feelings that are real, because that is in my opinion, the biggest load of bullshit I've ever seen, of spiritual bypassing or emotional bypassing or positive mindset bypassing. It's fucking bullshit. And I am a huge proponent, and positive mindset works. It does work. And also, before we get there, sometimes we have to honor and process the emotions and the fears that are coming up. And that looks like letting yourself feel and identify when you have fear come up around the uncertainty, because maybe absolutely everything in your life right now is uncertain. Your job, your career, your relationships, your health, your family's health, your friends' health. And that's okay. Let yourself feel that and acknowledge that. Yeah, I feel a lot of fear right now. I feel fear for myself. I feel fear for those around me. I feel anxiety about money, about my job, about how I'm going to support myself and my family. I feel anxiety about my parents' health, about my health. Honor that and let that be okay and acknowledge it, because when we acknowledge something, we allow it to be present and we don't deny it. So yeah, it's there. It's there. I acknowledge that. I accept that. And now I'm going to choose what's going to empower me the most right now to deal with this situation. Because I've given you guys an example before of going through the very same day, but coming from two different places. One where you're very under-resourced and another where you're very positively resourced. And when we are in a place of being positively resourced, that means that our decisions are more sound. We respond to situations from a different place, and our overall health and well-being is strengthened. And more than ever, that's what we need right now. So center back to anything that will ground you. And I had to do this to myself last week as well. I walked outside with my dog at sunset and I watched the sunset over the Rocky Mountains because I needed to remind myself of something that was very certain. The sun rises and the sun sets. You breathe in and you breathe out and your heart beats. It may sound overly simplistic, but that is literally what's going to help keep you grounded and resourced, and to keep you out of the spin and the fear and the pull and the anxiety and the constant feed of media input, fear. Yeah, let's deal with the reality of what's going on. Let's be smart. Let's be responsible, global citizens. This comes back to self-responsibility. We want to be responsible global citizens and take care of that which is within our control. We can control our interactions with other people so that we don't inadvertently spread the virus. You can be a carrier for it and be asymptomatic, right? We want to show that's social responsibility, and that's responsibility for yourself. You're taking care of yourself and your immediate world. And if everyone did that, and this is not true now. I mean, this is not just true now. This is true on a global basis. If we all take care of our own inner world and we all take care of strengthening and resourcing ourselves, we are as a whole collectively stronger and better. So bring it back to what will resource you in the moment, and stay responsibly informed about what's going on in the world without allowing yourself to be watching 24/7 or on Facebook 24/7, because and you can feel it. You will very quickly become fatigued, become panicked, and worry will take over every minute of your day. You are not able to operate from a place of power, strength, or resource when that is happening. So notice what's going on. Notice what's causing that tension and that fear and that anxiety to grow within you, and consider setting boundaries around your energy. Maybe it means that there are friends that you distance yourself from. You say, "Hey guys, I love you. I'm not able to engage in this right now. It's not helping me. I love you. I'm here for you if you need anything, but I don't want to keep talking about this right now." It's not sticking your head in the sand because you're staying responsibly informed, but it is slowing the input that is decreasing your ability to deal with the world and to deal with the events of today. And maybe it means deleting the Facebook app on your phone, or taking a step off of Instagram and reading a book instead, or doing yoga, or going for a jog outside if you're in a place where you can be outside, and doing something that's going to bring you back to center. And more than ever, it is a time to find certainty in whatever it is that you on a spiritual or religious level believe in. Because everyone believes in something. Truly everyone believes in something. And it doesn't matter what you believe in, but come back to your faith in whatever the power or the energy of the universe is. If it's God, if it's Buddha, if it's Allah, if it's, I don't know, the spaghetti monster. What is it? The book about the, I don't know, fucking spaghetti monster. Anyway, whatever, wherever you find faith and certainty, if it's universe, if it's spirit, if it's source, whatever it is that you know is greater than you, that has created the body that you're in, that has created every molecule and every atom of existence, whatever it is that's beyond you that you believe in, that resonates with you, connect back to that. Connect back to the fact that there are certain laws of the universe, that there will be another side to this. Look back through history, through the hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years of history, things cycle. That doesn't mean that people are not going to be impacted. People are 100% going to be impacted by this, with health, with economy, all the things. That's just a fact. And if you look back at, let's take World War II, for example, and how we move through events that are out of our control. We unite in the human experience, because more than anything, what this virus is showing all of us across the entire globe is that we are all human. It doesn't matter. All this bullshit arguing about sexual preference, sexual identity, or what your personal dogma is around religion, because it is dogma, because God doesn't care as long as you're a good person. And if that offends you, you probably don't need to be listening to my podcast anyway. It's a big wide world out there. Choose your own adventure. But this is showing us that regardless of your personal beliefs, your sexual orientation, your religious beliefs, the color of your skin, your body, whatever, we are all human. This virus is not just affecting people that are Republican or Democrat or gay or straight. We are all human. And let this be a unifier for all of us across the globe, because people in all parts of the world right now are experiencing the very same thing that you are. They're experiencing uncertainty. They're experiencing fear. They're experiencing anxiety. How we respond to that is what makes the difference in times of uncertainty. And more than ever, this is the time to remember we are all one human race. Everybody, every human being experiences fear and uncertainty, and they all deal with it differently. And when we sit in judgment, now we can argue, you can sit back and look, some people maybe we don't feel are making the best choices, and sometimes that's a fact. But at the end of the day, they are operating with what they have to operate from. They're operating from fear and a lower place of resource. And we want to have compassion, and compassion for ourselves, that we're all working with this differently. And in the same way that fear and panic can spread and grow in its own pandemic, we can spread love and compassion and show leadership in our own lives and to the people around us in terms of how to operate and navigate times of great uncertainty. And in order to do that, you have to resource yourself through this. And that means maybe you take things even slower. A lot of people are working from home now that normally don't, and balancing having children at home. And let it all be okay. There is no right or wrong way to handle any of that, except to come back to you, to come back to what strengthens you in the moment. Maybe you take a little longer in bed in the morning. Maybe you take 5 minutes to just close your eyes and listen to your heartbeat and listen to your breath before you pick up your phone or before you get out of bed. Maybe you go lock yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes and do the same thing. You have the time to do that because you need to do that to be resourced for yourself and everyone else. And if that means that you are in your head, maybe you're planning for the next vacation that you take. Some people would say that is an avoidance of reality. It's not. That's about resourcing you. It doesn't deny the reality that we're in this situation, but what we're doing is we're finding ways to resource ourselves so that every day we can show up as the best version of ourselves to the extent that we're able in that moment. And so that's what I want to leave you with today, is I want to leave you with this idea that, yeah, uncertainty is real. It's a thing. And the skills that we learn and the things that I talk about all the time, more than ever, are what we need now. Find the ways to resource yourself. And listen, I get it. There are some days that it's fucking intense and it feels really hard. And the fear and the anxiety and the overwhelm, everything wants to overtake you. That is the moment where you stop, interrupt the pattern, listen to your heartbeat, listen to your breath, walk outside, look at a tree, look at the sunrise, look at the sunset, look at something, connect to something that's going to bring you back, that's going to bring you back within yourself, that's going to bring you back to trust. Create a mantra. If it is, this too shall pass, use that one. If it's something else, whatever it is, use that. Make it a game. Again, I'm not denying the reality. This is about resourcing you through a challenging time. Make it a game. How many things can you come up with while you're in self-isolation? I don't know. Find a way to make it fun, because that is about resourcing you. And some people would say that that's denying reality, but it is absolutely not. Because if we're sitting in a place where 24/7, we're constantly in worry and anxiety and responding to every little article or post that's coming in about this in negative, fear-based place, that's not resourcing you. So stay responsibly informed about what's going on and resource yourself through this. Find ways to count little gratitudes during the day. Look for little pieces of joy. Look for whatever it is that's going to make you feel better or connect you to yourself, to your higher power, to something that feels good for you right now. Because that is how we stay resourced to move through times of great uncertainty and to help each other out. And remember, we are all going through this together. No one has it easy. We certainly, and when I say that, I don't mean, a lot of us are very blessed. If you're listening to this podcast, you're blessed because you have the technology and the ability to do so. And that puts you in a certain percentage of the population of the entire world. Yeah, count those blessings and let's help support each other through this and honor every experience no matter what, and know that everyone is going through some variation of a challenging time right now. And this is where the human spirit triumphs more than ever. And that starts with you resourcing yourself in these moments of great uncertainty. We will get through this. We will find another side to this. There will be a new normal at some point, and we will get through this. And through it all, you are going to find the courage to rise through this trying time. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Courage to Rise podcast. Visit my website, couragetorise.com, for more information on one-on-one coaching, group coaching programs, and other upcoming events. Remember, life's too short not to sparkle. Sparkle on.